I am learning to thrive in the gig economy. Do you want to learn too? I don't know if you can see the scar on my forehead. I had a pretty rough week to begin with. I was putting out signs for an open house on Sunday that I was going to run when, darn it, I walked right into a tree branch. And I had to run over to CVS, bleeding down the side of my head. And my real concern was I didn't want to get blood on my suit. So I'm standing in the CVS, sort of going like this, keeping the blood off my face. And the cashier was just like, "Hello, how are you? Are you having a good day? Come back again, please." And I'm thinking to myself, doesn't she notice I've got blood all over me? But hey, they're trained for public service, so I guess didn't bother her at all. The interesting thing about an open house, for those of you who don't know a lot about real estate, is that there's really two purposes to the open house. The first, of course, is to showcase the home and hopefully sell the home. But the second purpose to an open house is to find buyers who might not particularly want that house, but are willing to work with you to find another house. And in fact, I found a very nice family. They thought this condo did not work for them because the kitchen was too small. So tonight I brought them into my office and sat them with our financial consultant just to talk about their finances and the mortgage needs and what kind of place they could afford. And once they were done with that, and they told me what their budget is. Now, over the next couple of days, I'm going to put together a list of houses for them. And over the next few weeks, we're going to go out and look at a few others. If they get something, then it'll work out very nicely for me. So that's the second purpose of an open house, is for me to find somebody who wants to buy a house, not necessarily that particular house. One thing that I found very disconcerting with the open house, and this is something I hope none of you do, is that out of the four people that I talked to, two of them gave us false details, false phone number, false email, so that I couldn't reach them afterwards. I thought, just tell me you don't want to talk to me. Just tell me you're not interested. Don't give me something false because that's just a waste of time. Have you guys ever done that, by the way? I mean, I don't do that. But have you guys ever just given out false details just to make sure a salesman doesn't call you afterwards? If so, I'd like to hear that down in the comments down below. So that was my real estate for the week. Hopefully, I've got some clients. With my freelance editing, one of my friends asked me exactly, give me an example of what kind of freelance editing you do. So I thought I'd give you an example of what I've been doing recently. I had an architect. He wrote an article about 3,500 words about a trend that's going on in the industry, and he wanted it published in a construction industry magazine. Now they don't pay; it's really just free advertising in a sense for the architect. The magazine said, "Yes, we like the article. It can only be 1,500 words." So what I did was I took the article that he wrote, cut it down to 1,500 words. Great. Then he wanted it published in an industry blog on another website. But they only wanted 800 words. So then I took the 1,500 word story and I knocked it down to 800 words. Now, the real key to this is that you want to keep the main points in the article, and you also want to keep his style, something that makes it fresh, that it's his, that makes it clear that he is the one that has written it. And that's the type of editing that I do, and I've been doing recently. As far as the online selling, didn't really have a whole lot to say to you this week about it. I sold some items. The funniest thing is I sold something that was 23 pounds. It was this big box. And I tried to sell it. I'm sending it to Maryland. But here's the interesting thing. It's only $17 to send, even though it was 23 pounds. It was a beer growler set. So it was very large. It's not a bad deal when you think about it. I know the post office gets a lot of criticism. Maybe some of it's deserved. But you know what? If you can send a big box three, four states away for only $17. You really can't beat that. I don't think. So that was my week. And I'm hoping that next week I'll be able to tell you a little bit more about this possible real estate buyer and maybe some more stories about editing. If you're interested in knowing a little bit more about what I do, that'd be great. Or I can focus a little bit more on online selling. Just let me know what you think you might be more interested in. As you can see that tonight I filmed in the kitchen where we're cooking on the stove and there's pots in the background, and we'll see where I'm going to film next week. Until then, talk to you later. Bye.